All right, we are live on this fine Friday, almost evening, where I'm at right now. I am just looking to make sure that it is broadcasting on my thing here. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, it's working. All right, so it's Friday evening. It is September 23rd at 4:07 p.m. Mountain Time, which makes it 6 o'clock or so, 6:07 Eastern. And I just wanted to hop on here for a couple minutes and share some thoughts, give some words of encouragement, all that good stuff. If you're on here right now live with me, hit the chat box. Tell me where you're at in the comments. I'd love to know who's here before I get rolling. Pags, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. And let's see. Who else is here? Michael in New Zealand. God, that always blows my mind, man, when we see people in New Zealand and other parts of the world. It's so crazy we can do that with these little devices we have. Mike Kemp, what's up, buddy? Eric, what's going on? Delana in Arizona. I love Arizona. Kansas City. What's up, Youngberg? Good to see you. Lucas is here. Who's that? Rock in New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Kevin Sanchez, Asa Dex in Naperville. I know Naperville. Anyway, Mike Mack, what's going on? We got Napa Valley. Somebody, if you're on Facebook and you didn't do the thing StreamYard asks you to do, it just says Facebook user. Carson in Arkansas. Good to see you here. So let me pull this back so I can lean back in my little sofa couch thing. See, she's got me brainwashed. See, this is a couch, right, guys? It's a couch. It's not a sofa. It's a couch. But she's not in the room right now, so I'm going to say it's a couch. Anyway, we got Tim here in West Virginia. We got Todd in Raleigh, North Carolina. We got somebody in Jacksonville, Florida. All right, so we are 7 days. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. We are 7 days removed from the Mile High Profit Summit. And I wanted to just hop on here because a couple things happen. When you go to an event as powerful as ours, and you have great conversations, there's love in the air, you know, you're called out on your BS, you're called to new levels and this and that. And then we take you through that whole implementation plan. Yeah, Mike's like, take me back, right? We take you through that whole implementation plan so you can hit the ground running when you get back to wherever you're from. And then guys, type in the box, what happens when you get back? I'll wait a second here. You get back, you're all jazzed up, you're fired up, you're on the conference high, right? The conference contact high. Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate that. It means a lot. Somebody says nothing happens. Troy says you get kicked in the dick. Business smacks you in the spaces. Mike, you lose momentum and life takes over, says Crystal. Yeah, you guys get it, right? You're overwhelmed. They just keep coming here, right? So that's what I wanted to address here for a little bit. Here's what I have found personally, okay? Every single time I've made a commitment to go to a next level, my health, my business, relationship, whatever, every single time adversity shows up, okay? And it comes in the form of your best guy leaves, piece of equipment breaks down on your first day back, something ain't going right at home, your kid gets sick. I mean, guys, right? It's just life. And this shit happens anyway. It just, for me, it just seems, I personally feel that when I poise myself to really take things to a new level, dig into my personal discipline and stuff, that's when more challenges seem to show up. Now, I don't know if that really happens for real in the universe or if it's just, I'm recognizing things more or whatever, but I just know for me, that's what happens. So Troy's like, I just named everything that happened to him when he got back. That's funny. I talked to Troy today, and you're going to be just fine, buddy. You got this. And that's first thing I want to tell you guys. All right. Everything's going to be okay. You're back from the conference, built some great relationships, got some good stuff to implement. Guys, you can only implement things one day at a time, right? I really wish, like when you make a commitment, wouldn't it be cool? You make a commitment to get in shape. Like, I'm getting in shape, and you wake up the next day and you're in shape just because you made the commitment, right? Well, life doesn't happen that way. All right. Sometimes, not sometimes, but we make a commitment and then we can turn over a new leaf. We can start new routines. We can implement the things that we're learning. But guys, we still have residual crap or consequences of the way we were before we made the commitment. Hopefully that made sense, because it barely made sense to me. All right. But I think you're a smart group. So I think you picked up what I was putting down. And so, number one, I just want to tell you that it's going to be okay. Things are rarely as bad as they seem, and they're rarely as good as they seem. For me, when adversity punches me in the throat, my perspective is everything. Okay. If I have a bad perspective about it, then I make more of a big deal out of it instead of just going, how can I win this moment right now? Which leads me to the second thing. You're back from this event. Some of you have some momentum. Some of you are getting kicked in the face, whatever it might be, anything in between. As we talked about at Mile High, guys, your only job is to identify the vision you have for yourself and for your business, for your life, all those things. You identify it, and then you reverse engineer and map out the steps, and then simply win the moments. Okay. So no matter what's going on right now, high levels of overwhelm, crew issues, customer issues, quality issues, money issues, it doesn't matter. Okay. None of that is going to just magically go away because it's happening. So control what you can control. What is the best decision I can make in this next moment right now to just get me back on track? If you've been knocked off track in this last week, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. All right. It is what it is at this point. However, this next moment, what can you do? What action can you take to win the moment? Maybe it's sitting down and drafting an email. Maybe it's having a tough conversation with an employee that you've been putting off. All right. Maybe it's fixing the damn machine. Okay. Maybe it's, man, I got to sit down and I got to do some job costing because I totally got my butt kicked. Guys, it could be anything, and it doesn't matter what it is. Maybe it's just, hey, you know what? I said I was going to get my ass in shape when I got home, and I was on fire for 2 days, 3 days when I got home, and then something happened and I got knocked off course. Okay, well, what can you do now? Win this moment. Have a short memory when it comes to the things that you screw up. Does that make sense? Have a short memory with our mistakes. Learn from them, own your crap, apologize, do whatever you got to do to make things right, but then put that shit behind you and move forward. Far too many of us get hung up on the mistake we made, and we beat ourselves up for an extended period of time that's unnecessary. All right. So number one, all right, said everything's going to be okay. Number two, you got to commit to winning the moments. Number three, okay, now that you're off this conference high, take some time and go back over your notes. Just take some time, go back over the notes. Look at some of the pictures, the notes. These will reignite some of the feelings and the passion and the focus that you had while you were at Mile High Profit Summit. Okay. And a lot of times it's just like taking that time and going, I just got to gather myself here. All right. One thing I would encourage everybody to do, no matter whether you're at the event or not, guys, take some time every single day. 10 minutes, 15, 20, half an hour, whatever it is for you. I don't care. It's your life. All right. But take some time, hopefully as early as you can in the day, to set your brain on the course for success. Okay, read good stuff, listen to something that's solid, get a workout in, whatever it might be for you. Take some time for you to get oxygen. We talked a lot about that. That guys, your business, your relationships, your life, all those things will only be as strong as you are. You are the ceiling, okay, in your business. You're the ceiling. So how you go, business is going to go. How you go, your marriage is going to go. Okay, so I just want that's my little message here on this Friday afternoon to wrap the day up. I'm going to stick around here for a few more minutes. If anyone has some questions, okay, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer some. I can stay on a bit, and then I'm going to go do my second workout here. Then I'm taking the queen on a date. So you guys got this. Win the moments. Reframe things. Okay, it's just a hiccup. It's just a speed bump. Okay, these throat punches that you're taking right now in business and life and all this other stuff, guys, I'm telling you, they're just little tests, right? Our commitment will always be tested. Anytime we make a commitment for something, we will be tested. Matt Heiner, who many of you heard at Mile High, he shared an Instagram post. I'm pulling it up here. That's what I'm looking at. I want to read what he wrote because it was solid stuff. Okay. Let me get my glasses. If you have questions, put them in there. Rodney, glad to hear that, buddy. All right. Mr. Heiner. Where to go? Well, how did I lose where did it go here? I don't know where his post went. He tagged me in it. Now I can't find it. Hold on. Here it is. Okay. So on, it was like 4 days ago, I guess it was. 2 days ago. You guys are like, will you get to the damn point? Matt shared, my business has been testing me the last 2 months. Okay. Feels like everything I've been personally working on and building has been crashing down. I thrive in growth. It's my happy place. And when I feel like I'm going backwards, I have a tendency to want to revert back to who I was 15 years ago and play the victim. In life, there's more things you can't control than things you can control. And it gets you absolutely nowhere worrying about the things you can't control. I can't control people lying on their resume. I can't control crazy neighbors calling the police on our crew and leaving us a 1-star review for using city property. I can't control the real estate market over available properties to move his business. He's trying to buy a building. I can't control the city requiring me to pay and install a fire hydrant that costs $500,000 on the one property that may have worked. The list goes on. Here's the point. I was having a conversation with my friend, Real Tom Reber, the other day when he was checking in on to see how I was doing and make sure I was ready for my speech at his event. And Matt did a great job. I spewed my guts out with all the negative shit that's been going on. And like a true friend, he shot me straight. He didn't let me sulk. He didn't let me pass the blame. He didn't throw a pity party with me. Here it goes. He reminded me that on the other side of adversity, something big is coming. He reminded me that in the other side of adversity is something big. I had to say it twice. And to keep going. And when I look back in my life, that's exactly how it goes every time, says Matt. If you're being tested right now, keep going. Because it's the boss at the end of the chapter. It's the boss at the end of the chapter, and you're about to level up. So guys, that was my encouragement here today. I know I talked a little bit longer, but I'm telling you, what I have found is on the other side of adversity, every time is something better. It's something bigger. And when I look back at the adversity that I went through, I'm actually proud that I stepped up, that I leveled up, that I walked into the punch, that I took the challenge on, that I found a way through. All right. So for those of you that are having this little dip right now since Mile High, and you feel like things aren't going right, you're getting your butt handed to you left and right, I'm telling you right now, the easiest way out of this is through it. Lightly paraphrasing Robert Frost, the poet. All right. I think it was him. So keep going. So with that, how can I help you? I got a few minutes here. That's right, Chris. There's growth on the other side of the storm. Run through the fucking storm. So I'll just sit here for a minute. If there's no questions, I'll get off this thing. If there are questions, I'll answer them. Like I said, I got a few minutes here. I am here for you right now. What y'all need. Jason, we came on with five action plans and a lot of overlap. That led to more momentum once we got back. That's awesome, man. Glad to hear that. You need more time, says Mike. You know, Mike, I'm going to pick on that comment a little. You know, I love you. You have plenty of time. Okay. It's what you're doing with it that makes you feel like you don't have a lot of time. And we all feel that. So I'm not picking on you in that way. When I hear myself say things like, I need more time, that's usually a huge clue for me that I have not been taking the time to work on me, get the clarity of where my best energy needs to be spent each day and each moment. Okay. Because everything that we have to do, guys, this is huge. Everything that we have to do, if you write out your to-do list, Mike, and there's 20 things on there, not all 20 things are equally, are at the same level of priority. Okay. In fact, you can only have one priority at a time. You can't multitask and have 5 priorities. There's always one priority. In fact, I believe the word priority, there was never until the last 20 years or so, I read this somewhere, so my numbers are probably whacked out here, but the plural version of the word priority, meaning priorities, was never a word until like a decade or two ago, a couple decades ago, because it was understood that is a priority is a priority. So you could have 20 things on your list, but that's where you prioritize them and work on one thing at a time and bang it out, work on the next thing, bang it out, and so on. And when you do that, you'll be amazed at how much progress you make in anything. Okay. Who's home? Oh, Tiga's here. My son's here. What's up, Lex? Lexi's here. The queen just got home. The dogs are barking. All right. You guys you don't got no questions? Damn. Usually when I ask if you have questions, a bunch come in. Mike, another thing, we did an interview with a guy who runs, I guess he's a CEO or something of the company called The One Thing. There's a great book called The One Thing. And on the podcast interview with him last year, I think it was, this always stuck with me. He says, the things that get put on your calendar, you guys, the things that get put on your calendar need to audition to get a place on the calendar. If you just think of it in that way, you're about to invest your time, your resources, your money, your attention on something. That something needs to audition for a spot on the calendar. And if it ain't worth it, don't put it on there. Okay. Rodney, is LinkedIn a good place to look for painters? Yeah. I mean, to look for painting, like employees. See, I read that wrong. To look for employees, maybe. You know, I would do a search on there and just kind of. I'm not super. I'm actually doing more on LinkedIn recently, Rodney. But I'm. If I had a knee-jerk reaction, this answer for you right now, I would go on there and I would type in the search bar, painting foreman, painter, and just kind of see what people came up. And in fact, we just did this. There's a guy I work with in Australia. I won't tell you the industry or whatever he does, but he he picked up, where did he message me? And I won't look at, I think last week alone, he picked up 6 employees through LinkedIn, and they were competitors' employees. And so he would just send him a DM and basically just said, hey, we're always looking to build our team with great people. And if, and I think he used some language to kind of blame the economy. I know a lot of companies right now are slowing down, or they're laying some people off, and it's coming into wintertime or whatever. Hey, if that's the case with you and you ever want to have a conversation, here's our website. And he picked up 6 employees last week doing something similar to that. So the other thing, and this is where my LinkedIn ignorance comes in, I wonder if you can run ads with an audience of other competitors in your area, to serve up in front of them. So maybe that's something to look into. Okay. Is Battleground open for new members? Asked David. Yeah, we're opening it up here in October. If somebody is on here right now and sees this and wants to get in sooner, and wants to have a conversation, just send an email to me at tom@thecontractorfight.com, or DM me on one of these platforms, and we can have a conversation. Okay. Mike says, I feel like I get sidetracked because I'll be in the middle of a task and a phone call will come in or question, and I end up changing gears. Yeah. And so this is where time blocking comes in, man. Like, it's just, if you don't have somebody answering your phones, or somebody like pink callers or something, I highly recommend that to help you stay intact, on track. But man, this is a discipline issue. It's just going on. Put your phone on silent. Change the voicemail to say something along the lines of, hey, if this went to voicemail during normal business hours, chances are I'm on a ladder and it's not safe for me to answer. Please leave a message or text me at this same number. I will get back to you as soon as I'm able to do so. All right. And that way you don't have to pick the phone call up. If it's your guys that are calling you, I used to try to let my guys know, hey, the next 2 hours, I'm knee deep in some stuff. So you're going to have to, unless somebody got stabbed in the eyeball on a job site and their guts are spilling out of their bodies, don't bother me. Okay. And they'll come to respect that. Eric, sent out my first UIT to an influencer, tips for getting through analysis paralysis. What's at stake, Eric? I want you to think about that. Okay. A month from now, 2 months, 6 months, a year from now, when you look back, are you going to look back with pride going, man, look what I was able to do because I was consistent with these and I just did it and I learned it along the way and it just is what it is? Or are you going to look back and go, man, I wish I would have done this? Okay. So what's at stake is the success you want. It's residual lead flow and money and revenue and those types of things. But it's, just, I guess the kick in your face answer is quit being a wuss about it. What's the worst thing that can happen? They don't reply, or they reply with a middle finger emoji and say, don't ever bother me again. Okay. Next. Don't overthink this stuff. That's why I make the scripting for those really, really simple. Like it's an influencer and you send something like, hey man, you build stuff and I paint stuff or whatever. And, I just thought we might need to know each other. Would it make sense for us to have a conversation? Send. Okay. That's it. Stop thinking and just start acting. And Eric, I would also say, give yourself a minimum number a day that you're going to send. Maybe it's 3 a day, 7 days a week, no matter what. And you hold yourself accountable to that. Don't overthink it. Chris, if you are an idea guy or visionary person, what is the best way to find a production person or implementer? Put the word out, man. You have a network of people. You have a database, that has customers and non-customers and vendors in it and stuff. Everyone in the world should know what you're looking for. Run ads for it. Talk about it on social. Like I would own that, man. If I were looking for that position right now, I'd get on because I'm one of those visionary guys, man. I'd be like, hey, I'm Tom with the Contractor Fight. And, a successful business is all about that intersection between having a great vision and being able to implement things. I'm a great visionary. I'm solid at content. I'm solid at this and sales and blah, blah, blah. What I'm really struggling with here is finding somebody to really join our team who's that implementer type person who wants to help us succeed and win at big levels and win in their own life as a result. And if you know somebody, please tag them in this post. Like this to me would be like every single day, I'm putting messages out like that. I'm sending an email out. I'm reaching out to my vendors. Hey, do you know anyone who would fit this? And take some time to really outline what that position looks like and what that non-negotiable character traits are that you need in that person. And that's what I'm asking people. Hey, who do you know? Don't say, who do you know that could be a production manager for me? Okay. No, who do you know that's highly competitive, does everything with excellence, has a ton of self-respect, confidence, disciplined person, all those different things. I'm looking for somebody to be part of my team that fits those things. Who do you know? Now you're making them actually think of people instead of just putting out the broad question. Okay. Alan, what's up? Your video on what to charge per hour, does that per hour include your gross profit? Yes, it does. So Alan, that's a different way of pricing. So, and your hourly, what you come up for per hour might not be a 50% gross profit. It might be higher. A lot of times it's higher. It might be lower, but that sheet was created for people that do a lot of service work, that need to recover, that don't have a lot of high material costs and stuff. And it helps you recover all your overhead in that hourly number and your net profit in that hourly number minus any materials. So short answer, yes. Do not double the number at the bottom of the sheet. We stopped giving that sheet out because people were bidding them. They were charging twice as much as they needed to, and they weren't getting jobs because they were doubling that bottom number and hosing themselves. Okay. All right. Crystal, can we be too picky when hiring? I feel like I'm picking the applicants apart. Looks, speech, resume, complete sentences, capitals, background, or answers, chatting, and something comes up that turns the interviewer off. What's your take on this? So, that's a really tough question. I really think it's a tough question, Crystal, because my first reaction is yes, because not everyone's like us. Okay. So I could be too, if I'm hiring, this is why I don't do any hiring in the fight, guys, because I like everybody. I either like them or I compare them to me. And so I think there's a danger in that, right? Which is why they don't let me hire people here anymore. I only do like the last interview to meet them. And if something is smelly to me, then I bring it up. But usually I've never had to say, I don't want to hire this person, because our team knocks it out of the park with that. Now, on the flip side, I would say, no, you can't be too picky, because you are bringing somebody onto your team that's going to represent your brand, right? And so I don't think, and this is aside from all HR laws and stuff, guys, but listen, I'll just tell you right now, if there's somebody that's grossly out of shape or overweight, I don't want them putting my company uniform on, unless they're already working on it. Okay. And I ask those, we would ask those types of questions. And not just if somebody's overweight and we're interviewing, but literally these are character things. Like I'll say something like, hey, what's something in the last 3 months that you've been really working on? And I'll lead them a little. I'll say it could be, learning a new skill. It could be getting in shape. It could be, just tell me about that. What are you doing currently to get better as a person? And if they're overweight and they say, yeah, I've dropped 25 pounds in the last 3 months and I'm working hard on this because I got to get in shape. Now I know they have some self-awareness around it. We're moving in the right direction. Right. So their speech, certainly, complete sentences, capital letters, those are all good things, right? Because they're representing your brand. So I think it's a fine line, but I would be picky. And if you haven't already done so, I would sit down and go, this is my ideal employee profile, character traits, not necessarily skills, because we can teach the skills. What are the character traits that I'm looking for here? You know, you talk about looks and stuff. We live in a day and age where everyone and their brother has tattoos and stuff. And there used to be a time when I was like, I'll never hire a guy with a neck tattoo, right? Until I hired a guy with a neck tattoo because he had amazing character and it wasn't offensive. It was, it was very decorative and whatever. You know, if some dude had like a whole face tattoo, it just ain't going to work for what I'm doing, right? Or, being in people's homes and shit like that. Let him go start his own business and fight that battle. So hopefully that helps. Michael, what's up? Turn my business around. Cool. Glad to hear that. You're welcome. One-man band. Would employees be better to grow? Yeah, you can't grow without employees, man, or subs, right? You need people because your capacity, there's only so many production hours in a year, and that will always limit your income. Not to mention that your body's going to start breaking down and stuff. I frequently look to you. Feel like good inspiration. Start. Thanks, True Lift. Appreciate that. Mr. Salmons, found out from Mile High, I need more consistency, direction, accountability to implement and grow. I'm thinking about Impact. Do you think Impact is a good fit for it? So Impact, guys, is our one-on-one coaching. Possibly, I would shoot me a DM or something. We can have a conversation, have one with me or Dan or something like that. We'll just see if it's a good fit. I would say, consistency, man, is just a decision, right? And so I would work on, whether you do Impact or not, I really work on being accountable to you, right? Honor those commitments that you make to yourself because that's where your self-confidence grows. And for me, what I do, pull it up here. So this was I guess this was last week. No, it was this week. This is the other day. So there at the top, the week of, and I just create a little checklist. So that was Sunday. And I get that dopamine hit when I check one of those boxes, those mojos are the messages I send out, and I just, I bang these things out. These are the things that I do that just create momentum. And, you'll see things on here like the UITs we send out. You'll see, whatever. Like sometimes I'll have 20 things on there and I'm like, I'm just attacking that list, man, because it just feeds me and creates momentum. So Kyle, awesome. Just did his walk. Got the weighted vest walk, day 5 of 75. Nice job. Cheers. All right. So you got it, man. All good. All right, guys. So I'm going to head out. If you've been on this thing, you've probably seen the thing scrolling. Guys, if you're not in Battleground or anything like that, you just happen to be watching this or whatever, you want to get on our Coliseum sales training night. It's an a la carte sales training thing that we do once a month. And I would hop on there. If you're in Battleground, you get that as included. So don't sign up separately. You're going to get a link for that. Excuse me. And excuse me. Burping all that water. So, jump in on that if you guys want to level up your sales game. That's a great place to start. Michael, been pretty chaotic getting back in action this weekend after being gone for the event. On top of that, totaled my truck on Saturday. I'm sorry, man. Signed up for Battleground, but feeling behind the 8 ball. Haven't started engaging with the group. Hop in there, man. Get in. Start with the foundations course. It's a video course. And we have a new 90-day onboarding thing that starts in October, I think October 1st, where literally we tell you to go start with foundations. So make sure you jump into that. And if you guys are existing members of Battleground, when we kick off the new onboarding thing, it's designed to make you a shit ton of money in the first 90 days of being in Battleground. We basically tell you what to do and what to focus on. And if you do that, you'll win faster. So you guys are welcome to jump into that as well if you're already been in the group for a while. So, all right, guys, appreciate y'all. And I will talk to y'all soon. Have a great weekend. Win the moments. I'm out.